This is Casper de Nora, and you're watching the Chat with Chaps live show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Chat with Chaps. I am joined this afternoon by the one and only Disco Steve. I will pass over to say hello to him in a second, but welcome guys. I thought we'd do a very quick preview of the Leeds game tomorrow. As I say, Disco and I are making our way over to Elland Road. So yeah, I thought we would jump on and just talk all things about the game. So Mr. Disco Steve, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Good, Ben. Always good on a Friday. Especially when there's a big game tomorrow as well, and we can actually go for a change. And we're the lucky ones. It's only like hour and a half for us, and it versus the 4 or 5 hours trek up for the hardcore tomorrow. Bless it. I'll probably rubbing salt in their wounds now, but hopefully it'll be worth it.
Absolutely, mate. I hope you're not out tonight on the disco in.
No disco, but I might have a few cold ones certainly in anticipation.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, mate. Really looking forward to it. It's always nice when we send a big allocation anywhere. So I was pleasantly surprised seeing the numbers that we've sold. So I think it's going to be pretty much a packed out away end.
Is it 2,000, Ben? Is it 2 plus?
I think it was 2018 was the original allocation, bit of a random one. But I think as of yesterday, the club released saying there was 150 tickets left. So there or thereabouts, mate, which is great support for an early kickoff on the Saturday. So looking forward to it. It should be a good one. So look, guys, as I say, what we're going to do today is have a quick preview of the game, talk about some key personnel that are obviously missing, just talk about team selection, Steve, and then we'll have a little chat about our predictions, mate. So generally, mate, what's your thoughts on tomorrow? Obviously looking forward to it. Big game, always a big one playing Leeds.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. I must admit, Ben, it was interesting, wasn't it? When the draw come out, it was a bit like, and then and Leeds really should be jumping through the bloody roof, but it was a bit of a flat one. And I think even on our group, a couple went, a bit disappointing. And I'm sure they weren't over the moon at first. But actually now it's getting, the day before, it's just not a bad draw for us. We've got a good following coming up. We're in a great place right now. And we're going to come on to it, but I think we've got a good chance as well of putting on a good show and maybe getting a result as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We touched upon it on the live, didn't we, on Tuesday, and we spoke about just the want to keep the momentum up from our side. I think I'm hoping they're going to make a few changes. I had a look at the last time, or the last round, and I know they played Harrogate, so you'd expect them to make changes. But they made 8 changes. Yeah. They obviously played midweek this week, like the whole of the rest of the league. They've obviously got a Tuesday game, Tuesday, Wednesday, but they've got a Tuesday game next week as well. So hopefully, they may make some changes. I'm sure Alex Neil will do as well. I think he kind of alluded to that in his interview this week. There's a chance for some of the other players to get in, but look, exciting fixture. I'm always when you do your cup draws, you just don't want anyone in your league away, but there's probably a couple of exceptions, and Leeds probably are one of probably a couple that are an exception. So no, looking forward to it, mate, as I say, and hopefully they make a few changes.
Yeah, I think they will, Ben. Look, for guaranteed, they'll make more than we do. I think we'll make a few, but they'll make more than we do, and hopefully that plays into our hands as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely, I think that kind of segues us nicely, mate. So talking to the side tomorrow, obviously well publicised. Crammer's out cup tied, Connolly's cup tied, Triple B, because I'm not saying his full name, is cup tied. 2 certainly big losses, and I'm sure a little bit of disappointment for the young lad. I'm sure he would have liked to maybe have been involved in some way, shape or form. But do you want to just touch upon the importance of Crammer and Connolly not being available, mate?
Yeah, look, as you say, that's the key word, isn't it? Continuity to go with the other 2 C's. They've both been really great additions and been playing well, and I'm sure they'd want to be part of it, especially a big game, up at Leeds. They're saying as though it'll be a full house, so they'll be missed. But look, it does give other people a chance, and I've got my views on who that might be. And so look, we'll be weaker, if you like, not having them available, but it's an opportunity for some good players to come in and stake a claim.
Absolutely, mate. I think certainly one that you wouldn't have thought in weeks before the transfer window, or even in the early part, you would have thought that missing Connolly would have been the bigger of the two misses, just because we didn't have that much reinforcements, it seemed like, or that much quality up there, should we say. Now it looks like we've got an abundance of forward quality, and Connolly may not be missed as much, but certainly going to feel the effects of Crammer. Again, we touched upon it on Tuesday night, mate. He's just been excellent since obviously joining. Right back's an interesting one for me. I've been trying to think who's going to play there. Do you want to shed any of your thoughts, mate? Because I'm
I don't think I heard it, but I thought somebody said that Alex Neil had mentioned Harding being a backup or playing at right back. I haven't heard that interview. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think he will play Harding right back tomorrow. Give him a try. That'll be my first punt. But then I also wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, because the one thing you've got to think is he ain't played a lot of football, has he? At all. So to suddenly throw him in, but look, he's got to throw him in at some point, you'd imagine. So I would go with Harding, but I think there are options with maybe Billy, maybe who else was it? I was thinking, obviously CDN has played there in the past, but I've got a feeling he might get rested tomorrow. Honeyman, possibly you could drop into fullback, but I'm going to go Harding. I think Harding will play.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good opportunity for him to play. If he doesn't play tomorrow, he's probably not going to get many other opportunities, I would imagine, for the rest of the season. I was thinking about Casper, because before joining us, he was kind of used at for his Belgium side. I've completely names escaped me, but the Belgium side, he was playing fullback for him. So I thought Casper could be an option there. It would then obviously pose that question again into midfield, who goes into that slot. I would probably like to see Sav maybe rested. I think he's been excellent the last couple of games, Sav. So yeah, I maybe would like to see him rested. Maybe an opportunity for Honeyman to go into centre midfield. But yeah, out of all the names that have been mentioned, I probably would go with Harding over anyone else. Obviously, Billy's come back in the side and has maybe struggled a little bit since coming back from injury. So maybe not one for him to start sort of out of position. I know he's played right wing back or right back for us in the past, but yeah, maybe not one to sort of test at Elland Road, I guess, or get him into the firing line. So yeah, I'd probably go with Harding. Spoke about obviously Connolly not being available. Who would you like to see out wide left, mate? Did you think Negley will go there, or do you see him sort of fitting in on the right where he was playing for Sparta?
Yeah, I would have thought he'll stay right, and I would think he'll start. I'll be surprised if he doesn't start. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate, but if he didn't, you could possibly understand it. But I think, why not? Let's give him a start. Big atmosphere. Let him get into the game. Show us what he's got. I was watching the Millwall TV highlights of training earlier. On the recommend that apparently Lovelace looked really good, but I have to say Negley looked very good in terms of finishing. The one thing I would say, didn't seem to have a smile on his face, so maybe that's nerves, new boy and all that, but the others were all really, Kramer and all that, laughing and joking, and he looked sharp as well. But yeah, I'll go Negley on the right. Yeah.
Okay, and then so who would you bring up on wide left, then, mate? Do you think there's an opportunity maybe for Lovelace to come in there and start wide left?
I think Lovelace will feature, and I'd like him to feature. I think he'll be on the bench personally, and I think RBW will go left. To be honest,
okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I think look, there's the danger of overplaying him and saving him for league games, but look, you also think, I heard him talking about the FA Cup and going up to Leeds and the big game with a full house, and you think if you not dropped him, but if you rested him, you're denying him that experience as well. And I know we got to worry about the team, not about the individual, but I think I'd put him in. I think I'd put him in tomorrow. Definitely.
Yeah, I was just about to touch upon that when you mentioned RBW there, mate. I just love hearing him talk for such a young lad. He speaks with such maturity. I just love listening to him. Again, his love for playing football is infectious, and already just from the sort of 2 or 3 interviews that he's given, you can tell he just loves playing football. I've mentioned it a few times now, but he obviously spoke about how he did his homework on the Daggers keeper, and then again he spoke about his love for the FA Cup in his last one. It's infectious. You can't help but smile when you listen to him. So yeah, I think that's the natural choice. RBW will play left. I think Kundle will see still in the 10. And I think Negley will start up top. Would you keep BFS up there? Would you maybe change him? Would you get anyone else in to have a look? I'm just assuming Langstaff might be back in the frame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going BFS. I wouldn't be surprised if he got rested. It would make sense, but I'd put him in there. I'm not sure Lovelace is quite ready, and as I say, I think he'll be on the bench. Look, I think Coburn might be on the bench, or he might be saved for the bench for Plymouth, but he must be near to coming back, as Aziz as well. But yeah, I'd go BFS. That's what I've got down. BFS and Kundle behind him, as you say.
Yeah. Another one that we haven't heard much of, or certainly from a return date. Did you expect Coburn to potentially feature in some way, shape, or form? There's been no mention of him sort of returning, but I know you spoke to him or heard from him at Sheffield Wednesday, and you'd expect him to be back by now. Did you maybe see him featuring on the bench?
Yeah, look, I heard he spoke to fans at Sheffield Wednesday. I didn't speak to him, but look, he was saying he was 3 weeks away, and it's been a bit longer than that. And I've seen again, he's on the grass, isn't he? So I was hoping he would be on the bench, maybe even start this game, but I don't think it's worth risking. So he could be on the bench. And he tore Leeds up, didn't he, in the League Cup earlier in the season for Middlesbrough. So they probably wouldn't want to see him sat there on the bench. But I personally wouldn't have a problem if he's left out, but he's in the frame for Plymouth. Definitely expect him to be West Brom at home, either on the bench or possibly even a start, but certainly involved. And it depends how we ease him in. Yeah.
And last of sort of the individual sort of positions on the pitch, mate. Zach Sturge obviously coming on loan from Chelsea. Do we expect to see him feature? Do you think Joe Bryan will keep his place? How do you see that one?
I'd start him. I've got him down as starting. I think Alex Neil has sort of mentioned him positively, that he's fitted in well and trained him well. He's supposed to be a big unit, isn't he? Very, very left-sided, quite an attacking left back. Why not throw him in? I know he's not got a great amount of experience, but he's well groomed. You've got to watch your language these days, haven't you? He's been well brought through the ranks at Chelsea. He'll have good training and backup. I'd stick him in at left back, definitely, and give Joe Bryan a rest and save him for the Plymouth game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think he will come in. I think we will see him play again, just based on what Alex Neil had said about sort of having a look at new players and changing it up a little bit. I did think going into this maybe a week or so ago, I thought, well, we can't change it too much, so we're going to near enough be at full strength. But now it's nice to have some options and not be overly weakened. I know we haven't seen quite a few of these players play yet, so we don't know how good they are, but you're sort of bringing in your record signing, you're bringing in a young lad from Chelsea. So you kind of look at that and go, yeah, you're not going to be weakened a huge amount. And again, we're no sort of disservice to the players that we've had, but if we'd have brought in maybe Murray Wallace at left back, he would have gone, yeah, that is a slight downgrade on how Joe Bryan's been playing. So it's a nice problem to have for Alex Neil going into the game tomorrow. We've kind of looked at it individually then, mate. Let's have your starting lineup, how you think we will start tomorrow.
Yeah, good. I think just before we say that, the other thing Alex Neil did hint at, players who've been on the fringes getting a chance to play because we've gone with the same team. So there could be some surprises of even, mind you, Watmore's been starting, hasn't he? But Honeyman particularly playing, maybe even Wallace, people like that. But I haven't gone for that. I've gone for, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Roberts in goal. But it'll obviously be either. But I'll go Roberts.
So what we'll do, let's go through it, and I'll say agree or disagree. But I agree on that one. I think I thought Roberts will probably start tomorrow.
I don't see we're weakened at all. No offence to Jensen. I don't see from the Portsmouth performance. Don't see we're weakened, and I think that. Sorry, this is coming in there. Look, if we're going to change, as you're going to see, a bit of the back four. you talk about keeper and the back four having an understanding. It's not such a big issue changing the keeper. So I'm going Roberts, right back Harding.
Yep, I think
I'm
so,
going to
mate.
keep. I'm going to. Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah. I'm going to keep Tango and Coops centre halves.
Totally agree. Yep.
Right, we've and Sturge at left back. So our back five is exactly the same. We're both going to be miles wrong, no doubt. That's what we're going. This is where we might differ. I'm going to go one of Sav or CDN. I think he'll keep one of them for a bit of continuity and for that engine room. Wouldn't be surprised if it changes, but I think what Sav or CDN, and I think Wintle will come in. I think he'll put Wintle in as a bit of a safety net, and it's a safe option, isn't it? What about you?
I'm going to go with CDN and Wintle as well. I think I think we'll see Wintle come in and get some game time. I think we will rest Sav. I think I think he will rest him. I wouldn't be surprised if Honeyman did drop in there, though. So I'm going to caveat of what I just said and say it'll be two of those three. So Honeyman, CDN, or Wintle, I think will be in the two.
Yeah. Which wouldn't be bad, Ben, would it at all? Any of that options, and we might be miles wrong. It's interesting, isn't it? And genuinely, we haven't sort of spoke about this before, and we're very similar.
And you've got the likes. Will we see Alfie Massey on the bench giving us a cup game? Will we see Dan Kelly maybe feature, or certainly be in the squad? So again, we haven't mentioned Billy, so Billy's in there as well. So you've got 6 players now that are potentially 7 if you include Sav. 7 players now up for 2 positions, so it's healthy competition again, mate, isn't it?
Correct. I agreed. I think the good thing potentially is if he does rest Sav, he doesn't even have to have him on the bench. Like you always have him there just in case. Just rest him. Rest him. Full stop. You're not playing. You're starting on Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever the Plymouth game. So midfield. That's the midfield. I think we've already done, haven't we? The front 3 or front 4 actually, haven't we? So I'd go Negley, Cundall, RBW, and BFS. Yeah,
I think I totally agree. The only one obviously is that maybe up top with BFS if Langstaff is fit. I know there was rumours he had a bit of a niggle, didn't he, after the Cardiff game, and that's why he didn't feature after that. But maybe Langstaff comes back in, give BFS a little bit of a break. But it wouldn't surprise me if that front 4 was, as we said there, at all. And again, you're maybe thinking with Ivanovic that he's been on such a good run of form. Why sort of take him out the firing line? He's not a 34-year-old, is he? It's not like he's played loads of games. So maybe he does. Maybe he does keep his place. But if that was to change, I could see why they have changed it, but that would be my front 4 as well.
And would you put Langstaff ahead of Lovelace?
I see. Does Lovelace start as that centre forward, Disco? I don't know. Does he come on as that wide sort of player? I don't know. I'm reserving judgment on that one. Am I putting him ahead of Lovelace? I struggle with Langstaff, as we've said previously, mate. Listen, we can argue until we're blue in the face, till the cows come home, whether we think he's got enough chances. He's played 26 games, as Joe said on Tuesday, and his goal return for that is minimal, isn't it? So, possibly. I've got splinters here, mate. I'm sitting on the fence massively, but
I'm the same. Look, I've been a flag bearer for him, and will stay that way, in hope. But I'm actually, as you're saying that, I'm actually thinking we're weaker with him up top versus the BFS. Or look, Lovelace would be a gamble, and I don't see him starting, but I wouldn't be surprised maybe on one of the wider positions. But it's interesting, isn't it? I'm thinking we're weaker with Langstaff starting, but it would also be a sensible, in terms of managing the squad, would be a sensible choice. And wouldn't it be lovely if he did and he could bang one in early, and get his confidence up,
Absolutely.
But I'm not sure he will, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, that's the starting lineups, or our thoughts on the starting lineups, mate. Let's go for a little bit of prediction now. I think
just before you do that, Ben, just one last thing.
Yep.
I tell you one thing you can guarantee: we'll have a bloody strong bench.
Yeah,
really
and again, it's not often been said, is it, that we have had that. So we're going to have a really strong bench. We haven't even mentioned, you briefly mentioned the likes of Watmore, who have actually, I think, done quite well in the last couple of games. He's, I'd imagine, be on the bench. So, yeah, we've already said about that midfield too. You've got 2 of 7 potential players that could play in there. So, yeah, and the forward line is looking healthy. So,
Correct.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, mate, as we've said a lot recently. And, yeah, it's nice to have a bit of depth on that bench. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Prediction time, mate. So, records as they stand are 19 wins for Leeds, 5 drawn, and 19 wins for Millwall. So, we are level in terms of games won. In the last 5, it's 3-2 to Leeds. So, again, fairly tight. We haven't seen many draws in recent years. 2018 was the last time we did draw, and that was at our place. Obviously, the fixture has to finish tomorrow for people that aren't aware of that. So we could see extra time and penalties, which, do you know what? I was completely against Disco, but now I'm going tomorrow. I'm thinking that could be quite exciting. Imagine it going to penalties. It'd be nerve-wracking, but it'd be a good one to watch, wouldn't it? So, yeah, look, fairly tight in recent games, fairly tight overall. What's your thoughts, mate? How are we getting on tomorrow?
I'm quietly confident, without being blasé, without a doubt, they're a very, very good side, got a lot of strength in depth. And as I say, what they will do is probably make a lot of changes, but have a lot of the artillery on the bench, and pile them on Notto and all that, if and when they need them. So it's going to be tough, but I'm not going to sit on the fence with this one. I'm going to go a nice little cheeky 2-1 win to Millwall.
Nice, mate. Nice. I like that. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, tight extra time, and I'm going to say it's going to finish on penalties, and we're going to win 4-3.
On penalties?
Yeah, I'm going to go penalties, mate. Keep the excitement levels really high. We might have a heart attack.
I think my ticket could take that.
But yeah, why not? Let's go all in.
Good man.
A good result for that huge following we're going to have tomorrow. So looking forward to it, mate. I'll see you bright and early. I've had on good authority by Disco's missus that he has ironed his velvet flares. They are there. So if anyone sees him tomorrow, come and say hello. I'll obviously be there. Don't worry about me. Yeah, no, mate, looking forward to it. I'll see you in the morning. And for those listening, please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave all your comment predictions below. Will it go to penalties? Will we see Disco's 2-1 win? Or any other results you think are out there? Also, give us your thoughts on the lineup as well. Who's going to come in? Who's going to come out? So, yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison here, and you're listening to Chat with Chaps, chatting Millwall, come rain or shine.